Ready? We have a signal. Okay.
What do you want me to do?
I'm wearing this hat, so you know it's me. It's been in the pictures before. Let's go with this. May 12th, 2014. A Teamsters address, where we stand today and why we do it. This is a selfie address to the Teamsters, with special emphasis today on our brothers and sisters in Philadelphia going through some serious and troubling times. The bosses, like John McNichol, they're up there, looking down at us out here. They think we're small. From up in the boardroom, we may look small to them, small enough for them to think they can crush us between their fingers. Let's show them how big we really are. Let's show them what kind of major impact we can have. On the field, in the courts, on a chessboard, and on the job, and in the streets. Anytime you get into a serious fight, you have to show that you're the superior opponent. You have to dominate. You have to show you're right. It's all about maneuvering. Members of Teamster Local 107, all trade show members, all Teamsters, this is not something to take lightly, and most of you know that. In the eye of the storm, the world bosses recognize what lies ahead and what lay behind. Take my job, though. I will be at your house with a sign and a cell phone. Don't let it be your hand gets caught ripping me off. Taking your job is like taking bread off your table, right out of your kids' mouths. Some of you have kids graduating this year, going off to college. You now find yourself out of a job due to someone else's ineptitude. A short couple of weeks ago, a national conference call took place involving some high-profile reform leaders that you may have heard of before. Founder of the Vote No on UPS contract Facebook page, Brother Mark Timlin out of Local 177 in New Jersey, said the following. This movement will continue. We're just getting started. The Rebuild the IBT mantra is no to concessions, yes to take back our union. The following quotes were also given by your Teamster brothers and sisters regarding the imposition of unwanted contracts and the future of the Teamsters Union in general. We need to be the change locally, so we can be the change nationally, from Brother Gary Pizzo. The change needed will begin here with us, Brother Don McClure. We have to build this thing and get back to where we were in terms of morale and fighting opposition. Brother Darrell Nutgrass. Hoffa and Hall have no strategy for standing up to the employers, unless it's on the golf course. Sister Sandy Pope. What's going on right now in Philadelphia is yet another example of failed leadership. The most important thing you can do is to call Local 107 or Carpenter's Local 8 and ask when you can or should report for picket duty, or better yet, just show up. I intend to. The problem here is most people can't see past the asses they're kissing and realize the bigger picture. Who do you trust? Hamilton? Hoffa? McCarran? A BA from some other union telling his guys to go ahead and scab your jobs? Or a rank and filer who's been there, been through it, or who might just be going through their own storms now that you don't even know about? Somebody like John Doherty, who walked right in the trap, followed right through with management's design plan to union bust. What happens when it's his guys? Union labor stands with union labor, and the only thing worse than a scab is a union scab. Don't let some management wannabe stuffed shirt destroy that. It's time to turn our anger into action, into solutions. Thousands are getting informed and involved, and that's where it's at. The point I'm trying to make is this. We will no longer follow the dictates of our supposed leaders if such dictates are dangerous and against the will of the members. We have an emergency here, and it is time for evasive action. That is why I'm calling upon Pennsylvania Conference of Teamsters President Billy Hamilton and urging him to throw the full weight of the entire Pennsylvania Conference right behind this fight and ask the tough questions. With the state governor primary right around the bend, who's behind us in this cause? Who will stand up and say that the way these workers have been done is wrong on his face? You've officially endorsed Rob McCord. Where is his endorsement of us? This is no time for sitting on the fence. We're fighting against a government that is repressing our rights, the employer class who has always been driving us back and who would dance at our funeral. A leadership structure that leaves much to be desired, negative public opinion perpetuated by the same, apathy among our own, and the division and insolvency and warring between labor groups. Call me crazy, but I'm still optimistic. You remember the name Thomas Paine? He's largely credited with kicking off the first American Revolution. He wrote a pamphlet called Common Sense, and he is quoted as having said the following: "To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead." What did he mean by that? Well, some recent actions taken by some union officials locally and nationally, actions meant to subvert the will of the members, have given employers in many industries the green light. It's open season on the unions. The cue that we're just going to lie down while they run roughshod all over us. But they could not be more wrong. That's just not going to be the case. It's a filthy system we're all living under. They use their money, their influence, their so-called expertise to combat us. We can't match their money, but we have the potential to grow in numbers they can't ignore. We're 1,000% right. The data's all there. We've reached a point in this debate where there's no effective communication between the two sides. There's just no reasoning with these people. They're entirely comfortable with this, and they are proud to be wrong, while they roll nickels around at you like manhole covers. Look, here it is. The entire rest of the industrialized, civilized world recognizes both the importance and necessity of unions, and accepts their presence as a legitimate one. They know that organized labor is the last and one of the only sources of power for the mostly powerless. We lose that, then we have to start all over again, or succumb to the greed and evil that will eventually enslave us all. It isn't that the people don't see this. They're entertained by seeing how far they can paint us into the corner, but it will also hurt them as well. Someone standing in front of you telling you, you don't have the right. Who are you? Who in the hell are you? So let's tell them who we are. Make introductions. No more sitting on your laurels. My name's Kevin Boston, President de facto of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. It has been apparent for some time that we had no leadership at that level, so see a need, fill a need. I'm also the CEO of WPAC, the Working Person's Advocacy Coalition. I represent the heart and soul of the labor movement, past, present, and future. The good brothers and sisters of the trade unionists with whom we are in alliance are dedicated reformers and revisionists. We are committed to and subscribe to the core principles and ideals of unionism, that we are all in this together, that we are stronger when we are together, that your fight is our fight and vice versa. There is but one labor movement. We do not cross picket lines of any kind. We do our best to honor boycotts, and we seek out relevant, current information and updates, and we share that information with our like-minded brothers and sisters. These are the ties that bind us together. The forces which oppose us are trying to do one big ream job all over. Let's not kid ourselves over what this is about. This isn't simply about Philadelphia convention workers. It's not just about convention teamsters or convention unions. It's not about 107 or about TDU or UPS 623 804 89 331 or about Bobby Ryder, Fred Zuckerman, Sandy Pope, Tim Sylvester, Yellow Freight, New Penn, Hostess, Construction, so on and so forth. This is bigger than all of that. Don't blur the lines. This is about you. It's about us and them, the haves and the have-nots. This is about fast food strikers. This is about Walmart organizing. This is about SEPTA workers being ready to go on strike at any moment. This is about demanding an increase in the minimum civil living wage. It's about Occupy. Yes, it's about all that. It's political, and we have the power. Assume the power. Johnny Morris never really went away in this area. Philadelphia is not Atlantic City. The unions are strong in Philly, and we don't roll over. Solidarity is the name of the game. I was raised down here in Jersey with the Philadelphia union mentality, and that mentality is one to fight back. Make a stand. Make your anger and your feelings and your voice heard. When the next casino closes down here, where will those folks go to work? Walmart? How will they raise a family? Pay the rent? Save for their kids' college? Buy a home? Take a vacation? Put food on the table? Not happening. For the most part, the people on this side of the Delaware River seem to live in a vacuum. They don't understand the fight back mentality. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe they've never seen it. Maybe they never put their anger to some constructive use. But it's time to do just that, because the wolves are at the door, and nothing will improve if we don't. I'd like to invite any New Jersey union member or official to come up to Philadelphia during this showdown so they can see how you take care of business. Stagnation creates a vast hunger and a drive no force can destroy. The argument cannot work both ways. We supposedly have all these jobs, an improving, booming economy, unemployment going down, corporate profits through the roof, bonuses for top execs higher than ever, so much so they can afford to throw record billions at politicians for their favor. Yet working families are struggling more than ever, at any time historically. Where's the so-called trickle down? It isn't happening because they're all in penny pinching mode. We have got to harness the only leverage we've ever had. And that's a good old-fashioned mean strike. This is our fight to win. This isn't Chattanooga. This is Philadelphia. Two completely different animals. So maybe it's time to take this ball and run with it. Something that should have been done a long time ago. Solidarity and keep up the fight. I leave you with one last thought. Something to keep in mind when you're picking friends. The corporate bosses, the super free market capitalists, they wouldn't willingly breathe the same air as a trade unionist.